Soulsville Foundation is a very unique organization here in South Memphis that is dear to not only my heart, but so many people in the community and to Memphis in general. We do three things at the Soulsville Foundation. We have a museum called the Stax Museum of American Soul Music that is in service to the legacy of Stax Records right here on East Macklemore and College. We also have a high-performing music academy called the Stax Music Academy, which is for students who are interested in music and engineering and production and performance. Typically, it's middle schoolers and high schoolers who come to us, plus we have an alumni component to it as well. And on the same campus, this hollow ground of American Soul Music and Stax recording studio, is a charter school, which is a 6th to 12th grade college prep school. Our mission is just that. We serve the legacy of Stax Records. We educate youth, and we help develop the next generation of emerging artists. What I love about being at Soulsville is that people want to be here. It is a place that people love to come, and a variety of people come. It's such a diverse set of opportunities that happen on this campus. Those include coming to the museum. People love the museum. People love the programming in the museum. We have kids, kindergarten all the way through high school who come to seek out information in our museum. We have programming for them. We have students in our after school and summer program. We have students in our school. We also have all people who love just the history of Stax Records and who love soul music and Memphis music in general. And we love having those guests in our museum on campus. I love the performances we do in community. People know us in Memphis. People know the Stax Music Academy performances. 5,000 people will come to Levitt Shell the last weekend in June to see a performance of our students. And it's just a blast to be around all that. I work in a place where I hear music all day long. There's music going on, orchestral music, classical music, band music during the day. There's songwriting, composition, and contemporary music and soul music all being played and learned all day long on this campus. So it's a blast to work here. People want to work here. They're proud of being a part of this. It's fun, it's cool, it's a great place to work. The Soulsville Foundation, Stax Museum of American Soul Music, and the Stax Music Academy was featured at the presidential inauguration Celebrating America during the inauguration this past year. And it was really fun and exciting. Justin Timberlake was here. He and Aunt Clemens sang a song called Better Days. They sang in the museum. You've got a sense of the history of the music, Stax and American soul music in general. They burst out onto Macklemore Avenue. They sang up the street. They connected with our students, about a dozen of our students at the intersection of College and Macklemore. And they, culminated that song with our students. And it was just a fantastic moment for us here at Soulsville, and for all the students involved and all the staff here who worked on it, and all the the folks that worked with Justin Timberlake as well, and the inaugural. But what's interesting and unique about Memphis, and this is so true, is that Memphians were really proud of it. Memphians really dig into this kind of stuff. When we, as a collective city, get highlighted or do something like that, we come together as a community and we're very proud of it. That night, there were watch parties because people got this wind that we were going to be on the inaugural, and so people were watching. And the next day, people were so proud of us across the city. We got so much good vibe from folks who communicated to us that they'd seen it. Same thing happened when we were on the Ellen Show the year before at her holiday special. People around Memphis had watch parties. Some of the restaurants and bars and centers had watch parties to watch Memphis kids perform on this national, stage. And that's the fun thing about being from Memphis. It's a big city. It has everything a big city has, but there's this camaraderie and this connectedness that is unique. Again, one of the wonderful things about Memphis is something about the Mississippi, the history, the negative history, the positive history, just the cumulative history of Memphis, the people, the attitudes. Something has happened here that's certainly unique. And here at Soulsville, this original African-American art form was created. This great soul music that came out of Memphis, came out of this community, came out of this neighborhood, literally on this campus that we formed. David Porter grew up here, Maurice White grew up here, Booker T. Jones, the Barkays, several of those guys live around here. Steve Cropper lived down the street. These were Memphis people coming to this do-it-yourself recording studio that Jim Stewart and Estelle Axton set up and making music that impacted the world. When Rufus Thomas walked in and Carla Thomas walked in and Jim Stewart hit record, it changed the world in terms of music. And the Stax music that was created here is alive, certainly in the music that's created today, and it's the music that people love, and it's just this amazing American art form that people from around the world love to come and see when they come to Memphis. And so I'm so proud of being a part of that. I'm amazed at how much music came out of Memphis during that time and how much music still comes out of Memphis. And the beauty of the Soulsville Foundation is that we celebrate that legacy of music. The music never stopped. So it's certainly retrospectively looking at what happened in this community and what happened at Stax. African American and white musicians playing together, and African American and white ownership of a major record label or an independent label nowadays, I guess it'd be called. All that coming together, but we are in the present now creating music in this room. There are artists, burgeoning artists right now making music on the same place, the same campus that Isaac Hayes and Otis Redding recorded. And we know in the future it will carry on. So I love that about this place. It's not just a place for artifacts, it's alive. And we're keeping that legacy alive. My hope for Memphis is my hope for so many cities across the United States, is that we learn to accept our past and be honest about our past, that we can come together in the public square and have conversations that matter, where people respect each other, people's perspectives and their histories, that we can focus on the important things in our cities. We can't live in cities with 26% poverty rates and high crime and lack of infrastructure and lack of transportation and inaccessible health care and bad communication about public policies and bad climate practices and blight. We just can't live like that in our cities. Cities are important places in the United States. Most of us live in cities and or visit them, and so much of our aspirations and our hope for a democracy and for our country now lay in the ability for us to inhabit livable cities. And so that's my hope for Memphis, that it becomes a livable city where everybody can attain their aspirations and live together and be honest and work on the things that matter and stop fighting over all the things that just are a waste of our time.